Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Mary.
Good morning, you guys. Very excited about today.
Bill, it's 9:31. Let's start.
Should we start? Okay. Good morning. This is Bill Sheehy. I'm with Remax out of Monmouth Junction, which is a section of South Brunswick. I hope everyone is well. Tonight we're going to talk about RPR, which is the Realtors Property Resource. It's offered by the National Association of Realtors. It's part of our dues. And what's great about this program is that you don't have to be a member of any of the multiple listings to get data off of this system. You can use it for all 50 states as well. So it's pretty helpful. What we'll do is when you log on to the system, you can use this for residential, or if you want to, you can use it for commercial as well. So it's dual purpose. On the first screen here, and this says My Markets here, you're able to identify 3 markets, and it gives you a snapshot of what's happening over the last 6 days. So I just chose Morristown, Monmouth Junction, and North Brunswick. And you could change the towns by going into the edit mode. They'll pop up over here and just remove one of these and then add another. And then you can change the criteria right here as well. So it's very powerful there. We go back to the home screen. And like in Morristown, you get a snapshot of where the properties are that they've identified. And it talks a little bit about other type of activities down here. These are other searches which I've done. And this is a very good snapshot right here. Now, when you get into the tool itself, you want to enter an address. This works for either sellers or buyers. So we'll use the property. We'll put my home in here as the property we're going to identify today. So you list the property. It comes up with the address. We're going to be looking at for sale, here are the leases, active, under contract, pending, and closed. So you set your criteria. It gives you a range here. You can change this if you like. And use any price range. And we'll get into that later on. And it brings up the property. This is what's on the public records. So I had bought my house here back in 1988 at this price here. It gives you the square footage and the lot square footage. The RVM is this is the realtor's valuation model. It's just another algorithm that's used within the program. And it gets updated every 10, 15 days. And we'll get into this as we go through the system on top here. It also talks about the range for the RVM, the confidence level, how accurate they think this range is. The last month change came down to $1,000, and then the year changes up 6%. It provides basic facts of the property, the zoning, and give us some more details of the price, the CMB value, and the refined value. Both, we'll get into these as we go through the tabs. From the public records, it pulls out the property facts. Now, of course, we have to update those because some of the information may not be there. So I inserted 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. The square footage was correct. Lot size was correct. It's a 2-car garage, the built. And then you would just save that. And if you continue down the field, it just gives you more details about the property. So you get all this information right here. It gives you the school rankings, and it gives you the owner facts, myself and my wife. You go back on top. These are the resources that were used to develop the evaluation. You can get a map. It's right over here. And if you want to estimate the equity, you can do this calculation here. If you scroll over, at the end of the presentation, you can also develop a seller's net value. After you sell the property, you subtract all the closing costs, etc. So this is the main screen. You then click on the map and location, and it pulls up. You can add additional streets here, but these are all the properties that are in my neighborhood. This is the house that's the target right here. This is my home. And these are all the other houses within the area. So it gives you an idea of what some of the other values are when you're speaking to the seller. And you can do different type of sorts by the right-hand margin here as you're going through. If you scroll down, just gives you more details. We're not in the flood zone, which is good. You can create a report on this screen here if you like. Just hit create report, or you can print the screen right over here. If you click on to market trends, this is where you can adjust it. Like right now, it's a lower seller's market for North Brunswick. Now, this only is for North Brunswick. It tells you the months on inventory. The sold price is always above the list price right now. 54 days on market, and the medium sale price of $600,000. And again, it gives you a snapshot at this point here. If you scroll down, it'll tell you what the active properties are. This is based off of the criteria that we set in the beginning, just looking for single family homes, and what the medium days on the market is, square footage, total value, and then the square footage. And this chart here, you can just change the period to see how this is looking in North Brunswick. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And then you get the sold listings down here, and it gives you a view on how the prices have been changing over the last 12 months. It talks about the listing inventory for North Brunswick, distressed properties, and the median estimated property value. So it's very powerful. It's good information here. It pulls it from the public records, etc. Also, what's nice about this screen here, RPR started to incorporate AI functions as well. If you go to this button here, it says create script and click on it, you're able to produce certain types of reports. If you end up, it's like a professional style. The audience could be a buyer, first-time home buyer, seller. And then you can produce different articles that you can actually forward to your clients or to your database of contacts, if you like. It gives you a summary here of North Brunswick. You can copy the text, share it, export it, etc. But this is very creative. If you like working with like social media cards, gives you the information. You set the background to whatever you like. It gives you, and you can, here is like a snapshot of North Brunswick based off of January 2026 data. You save it, and then you can share it. Take us a moment. And then it goes into your library. You can download it, or you can get a QR code for it as well. So again, it's neat little features. You can also do PowerPoint presentations as well. So this is something that if you have time, I would click on this button here and just go through the different tiles that are there. We go into the next field, which is the refined value. This is where we're going to start getting into the value of a property for CMA purposes. Again, it pulls the public facts over. These are the adjustments that we made. And you can tell that when we added 4 bedrooms to it, it increased the value by $57,000. And then if you go down to it, you would update the facts so that everything is saved properly. And now you can refine the property. You can do, we had redone our kitchen in 2020. So you would add this to the property, and that gave it a cost, and it increased the value of the property by $9,568. So that goes here. And then here is the refined value for the market and home conditions. If you think the local market condition is slowing down, you can adjust it. If you think it's average, you can adjust it. The exterior of the condition relative to comparables. If the outside of my house is much better than the neighbors that I'm using for the comparison, you can increase that. Every time you move this bar, it'll adjust the value of the property. So it's kind of like dynamic pricing right here for you. So you have all this, and then this was the estimated value here that we had. Based off of these adjustments, we increased the bedrooms, we redid the kitchen, we changed the market condition. It added another $73,838 to the value. So now the refined estimate is $742,838. So it does it all in like real time for you. All right. And then once you have this, you're going to go over to the CMA. And so here's the property that we're talking about. Here's all the data here. You can build the CMA right here. The advanced CMA, this is more for like appraisers. It's a different level. And you want to always, you can update. The home facts was a screen we just did. So we know that that's updated. If we want to search for comps, we hit edit. And it'll search for comps for you. You just have to hit the criteria, a single family. If we want active, pending, we usually do for CMA, we'll do the closed. And you can specify areas here. You can use a different geography. This is just the immediate section where my home is located. You can specify the period, 3 months or date range. You put the range of the features of the home. And you just hit search. And it'll tell you, and it brings you up the properties. Here's the home. And these are the comps that they came up with right here. So the comps come on this side here. So this is the new valuation. This is a neighbor's house of mine. Now we can remove this from the comps or we can keep it. This is the next one here. So these are the comps that they had come up with, which is all in the immediate area of my home. So then if we want to accept these, we just update the valuation. And if we wanted to, this is the new, see if we want to review price range here. This is the recommended price range based on the data that we inputted. This is the original result, the range, and we would save this here. We can create a report at this time. You want to just go to the next, this is the neighborhood. This will give you a snapshot of the neighborhood that we had just saw previously, but it gives you more data that you can speak about when you're meeting with your client. Talks about occupations. These are neighborhoods nearby to North Brunswick. It gives you an estimate of home values. Again, more information for your presentation. It gets into housing. It'll look at the town. This is North Brunswick here, the county, the state. So it gives you a whole range of data that you can use in your presentation. And go back to, we were in neighborhood, we'll go to my updates. You could put a picture of the property here. It'll estimate the equity if you wanted to. This is a number you would input. And if you wanted to provide the seller with closing cost estimates, you can just fill this data out here and give them an idea what they're going to walk away with at the closing table. So if we go back to the CMA here, and we're going to, let's see, where is that? We're going to create a report. So these are all the templates you have: buyer template, seller template, property, and CMA template. If we go to the seller template, so here's the template here. We'll go over this in detail right now. It's going to look at these different sections: property information, refined value, market trends, flood zones. If we continue with this template, we just put in the information. And this is what the report looks like. Now, every report that's available has a certain number of pages. You're able to add to the pages or you're able to delete the pages. But this is what the report looks like. I'll give you a map right here. It gives you the values that we spoke about, the property information, trends that we saw before, the market activity, and it also provides the comps that you used to come up with the CMA numbers. And this is the pricing strategy. You wanted to show that. And then there's always a disclaimer about how the product works. If you go over to left-hand margin here, here's the cover sheet is always number 1. Close that out. Like property information, if you didn't want to show interior features, you can just click that off and it won't show that page in the report. Or exterior or homeless association, if there's one there, legal description. So you can add pages or you can delete. And just go right down. Oh, sorry. Oh, shit. I'm not sure what I did here. There we go. I'm going down. You see all the different tabs that you can go to. The pricing strategy comes up here. And if you want to include the refined values, a lot of clients may not understand refined value summary, so you may want to take that off. And just so the price range and the CMA summary, you can do that also. And then if you wanted to use the net seller sheet, you add that into it, and it just pops it over there. Here it is here. Now you can always save it after you get done as a draft. We can share it at this point. Email address. You can share social media if you wanted to. And then if you download it, it takes about 15 seconds or so to get the report. It comes out as a PDF format. And here's your report. Gives you the company, the address, picture of the home, your information here, and then the drone picture with some of the values, and then the property information. And then we have removed some of the slides. We kept some. So it's a very detailed report. It gives a lot of information, get a lot of talking points that you can have with your client. The comps are one of the better features because then you can just kind of pull right to where they were, what you use for the pricing. And again, this all comes from public records. And the summary, if you want to fill this out, you can do that manually. Then you can sign it if you like. And that's our, and then the disclosure was the last page there. My suggestion, if you're going to use this, to just kind of, print it out, just put it on the screen, print it, and just go through the pages because some of these reports could be 80 pages long, some can be as small as 15. So it's just better to get a feel for it before you actually finalize it. That is the RPR system. I just want to go back to one last thing if we could. I think it was market trends. Sorry about this. Oh, create script. This is where the AI feature came in. We have a professional style. We're going to work with sellers, let's say, over here. If you like PowerPoint presentations, this is something that you can use. You'd send it in advance of your meeting if you wanted to provide more information. It'll give you it's like a 10-page PowerPoint presentation. It's based off of the facts that are in public records. It takes a little bit of time for it to generate, but just wanted to show it to you. Okay, so we can download the presentation. So this is the presentation you can get right from the report. Talks about North Brunswick. This is the criteria of single family homes. It gives you the active listings, some information on the days on market, and then your information here. So, it's a nice thing to send out in advance of your meeting. If you wanted to do that. I guess it's also very good talking points when you're meeting with your client and in the closing, and then thank you and keep in touch. Okay, so that was the RPR system. I've been using this system for quite some time. It's very useful when I'm meeting with clients. It also allows me to compare what the RPR is saying for a CMA versus other systems that are out there. I think that's it. Any questions or anything like that I can help you with?
I would just wanted to add what's great about the RPR, and I was excited about this training because I don't think I use it enough. This is awesome. And also you have access to all areas in the United States because this is NAR, it's national. So let's say you don't belong in the Flex MLS or Monmouth MLS, or even like a different state. You can actually go in and get this real-time information as realtors. And sometimes I think we forget that we have that, and we could get information in, different areas, even though we don't belong to the MLS. So it's definitely worth, playing around with. And I didn't know it had all these features. I mean, I'm definitely covering this in one of my office meetings, Bill. This is awesome. And even the create script thing for the social media, like what great information that you can put out there for social media. And if you don't know what content to put in, there you go. You pick a town, and this is the content that you're going to put in.
I'm not an expert in this, as you can imagine, but I've been using it for a number of years. If any of you have any questions or you'd like me to talk to some of your folks in the office on a Zoom, I'd be glad to do that. I'm out of the South Brunswick office, but Zoom is national, I guess. So feel free to contact me.
Bill, someone asked,
Oh,
does this have an app? And it does
there is an
actually.
app. Yes, it does
Yeah.
have an app. You can download it. It might be, I don't think the app is as powerful as a desktop, but it will give you enough information to work off of your phone and to be remote with the system.
Yep. Great. Any other questions? All right.
Well,
This
thank
is
Hey,
you all for participating.
real quick. I'm sorry, it's Paul. I'm actually on two computers here. I was walking the dog, but I use this system all the time. Let me get off my phone. Hold on. So I use this system all the time, for years, and I'm glad that you did this presentation today because you actually pointed out a few things I didn't know. Also, for most of you that don't know, RPR holds a lot of courses throughout the month. And they normally put up a course, a schedule. Right, Bill? If I'm not mistaken,
Yes,
you should
exactly
get it.
right. Yep.
And then, so this is all I use, when I go on a listing presentation. But there are a few new tools, features that they have that are great. The one thing that I've never really been able to work on is really the commercial side. I haven't really had a chance. Have you, Bill?
No, I have not. Just mostly
Okay.
residential. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. But it's a lot of realtors don't even know that they have this for free.
It's all
I
part of
keep
your dues and
forgetting we
things.
have this.
Yeah, yeah.
I would always recommend to go and to Bold Trail and do the marketing stuff because it doesn't really talk about the Remax marketing and the marketing that you're going to do. So I would always partner that up with this. But this has so much information that I didn't know. And this was very, very good. We should redo this training, Bill.
Anytime. I'm
And
always
Paul, you can
available.
tag team.
I'm always
I'll be in
available.
Awesome. Okay.
Sounds
Any other
good.
questions? All right, you guys. That was
Okay.
great.
Well, thank you once again.
Thank
Thank
you, Bill.
you. Thanks, Bill.
Bye, Paul.